Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something really exciting. Not only are we doing another start to finish editing tutorial, which you guys seem to really enjoy the first one, but we've also got a really big giveaway that I'm really keen to bring to you guys. So let's get that out of the way first. So we've been building a community now for almost a year, bringing you guys video tutorials, listening to your feedback and trying to bring exactly what you guys are after to the channel. So I reached out to Blackmagic, the guys that actually make Davinci Resolve, and asked, do you want to help support the community we're building here? So if you've been following the channel, we did recently pass 5,000 subscribers, which is insane. So huge thank you. And as a thank you from me and Blackmagic, I have 2 Davinci Resolve studio licenses to give away. That's right, not one, but 2. These are full licenses for the whole Davinci Resolve software, which means you can install 15 and then get your free upgrade to 16. The paid version retails at about $300. So really awesome and exciting, and it's super simple to enter this giveaway. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below on the feature you're most excited for in Davinci Resolve 16. And I'll pick the winners at random in 2 weeks time from when this video goes live. So I'll pick the winner on the 9th of July Australian time. So obviously you got to make sure, the days are going to be a bit different depending on where you are in the world. So super simple, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below. So with that out of the way, let's jump into this start to end editing tutorial. The idea behind this is that it's really good to watch other people edit videos because you can sort of start to mold your style and other people's styles and sort of find little tricks here and there that other people do. So we're going to edit a video that I recently posted on the channel. I'll leave a link to it up above. So if you want to check that out, go check that out now so you can see what we are going to be creating. We're going to jump into it. Okay, so jumping into Davinci Resolve 16, as you see, I have it open here. But before we go into that, quickly show you the folder structure I have for that video. Again, that is linked up in the cards above if you want to check it out. So we have it here, editing tutorial. All I've done is separated the footage. So we've got main roll, B-roll, as well as the audio for the main roll. And then we have some music that I've gotten from MusicBed. So we're gonna go new project, just call this editing tutorial just for the sake of clarity. Create. And we're going to head over to the media pool, and I'm just going to go to my favorites here, editing tutorial footage. I'm going to drag it all down into the media. I'm not going to change the project settings. It's already set to 1920, 1080 at 24 frames a second. Some of these were shot at 120 frames a second. This one here was shot at 4K, and that's why that warning comes up. I've also imported the audio. Now I'm going to go, and I'm also going to bring in the music. And so you see here in my master bin, I have all my clips. Next thing I'm going to do is just color code them. So this is my main clip. I'm just going to leave that as is. Here are my B-rolls. So I'm going to highlight those, and I'm going to change the color just to a different color, generally orange. So I've just done that by using touch bar on my computer, but you can highlight them, right click, clip color, change it there. We're going to do that for the song as well. Clip color, change to teal. I just do this, gives me a bit of clarity when looking at the video in the timeline. So I'm also going to bring in some video presets. So just this YouTube end screen here. And again, going to change the color of that and maybe change it to pink again, just for clarity. So moving on over to the edit page. This is where I generally start my edits. I'm still waiting for a few more features to be implemented into the cut page before I delve into that a little bit more, but it's definitely getting close for me to be able to fully edit a video in there. And you can see that I've gotten rid of that by just, you go to workspace, show page, and you can show cut. You can see it pops up there if I wanted to use it. However, currently I have that disabled for now. So the first thing we're going to do is sync the audio. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I do have a bunch of quick tip tutorials on the channel. You can go check them out. I'll leave a link up here somewhere. But basically, this is the main roll, so we can see that if I click here, this is me talking, fantastic, and this is the audio. I know that because I recorded it, just like you would. So we're gonna highlight them both, right click, go down to auto sync audio and go based on waveform. All right, now with that all done, all I'm gonna do is drag my clip down onto the timeline. And because my settings are a little bit strange at the moment, just going to adjust the workspace by just going to this bar here, view options, gonna turn on the Waveforms, make sure you can see them, drop that down. Yep, and that looks good to me. I might just open that one up as well. So now we can see everything. Now, normally I'd go through and I would start cutting this footage up. But what I like to do first is go somewhere in here, and I'm going to jump over to the color page. This is where I'm going to do a quick color correction. I'm not a color correction master by any means. Many people on my channel will tell you that. So all we're just going to do is, just with the waveforms, just going to maybe raise the midtones up a little bit, highlights a little bit, just brighten the image overall. What I might do as well is just lower the temp just a little bit, not a lot. Then going to create a new node by doing Option S. You can also do this by going Color, Nodes, Add Serial Node. And in here, I'm just going to adjust the contrast a little bit. I do like to fade the blacks a little bit. That's just me. So drop that down. Maybe pull that down a bit as well. And just scrub through, make sure it's not too bad. So I find that's not too bad. That's good. And this is another great feature in DaVinci Resolve 16 is the fact that you get overlays. So obviously the white is Luma, then you got RGB, and it's cool because you can see the way that and I find it really, really useful. So what we're just going to do is going to add another serial node, and I'm going to chuck a quick LUT on. I got some one here from Sam Calder, and I like this one. Going to double click that. That applies a LUT there. Super, super strong. So we're just going to go over here to our keyer and just reduce the output. So maybe 0.5. And we'll see by doing Command D, we can deactivate the node, and we see the effect that that has. Still very orange. So we're just going to drag this down just a little bit. There you go. It's still quite orange, but I don't mind it. That's fine. So the next step is actually to edit the audio. Now, the reason I'm doing this on the main clip is so I don't have to worry about applying all this to different things. So with A1 track selected, we're just going to double click into Dynamics. I'm going to turn the compressor on and the limiter. This just stops things from clipping. I generally lower the threshold a little bit so it's not too harsh. Get a nice little bump there. Lower the threshold here a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. And now as I play the audio, you can see that it's playing around -20. I kind of want it to be up around -10, so I just use the makeup slider. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do to the audio. Again, I'm not an audio engineer. I just want to fiddle with it a little bit. So we've just applied that. Nothing too bad. Now, the last thing I'm going to do on this clip before I do anything else is select it, go to the inspector, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here just to change the perspective a little bit. Fantastic. And I'm pretty sure that's all we're going to do here. All right, so next is the bit that we're probably going to skip through. So basically, as you can see, I've got myself talking here, bits that I need to get rid of. We all make mistakes. That's me looking at the bag, wondering what I'm about to say. So I need to go through now, and look at that. Disgusting. I got to go through and cut all of this out. And the way I do that is I just punch in on the timeline. All right, and I go forward, and I'm going to use Command Shift bracket. That's going to ripple delete to the left. And then I literally just go through, and I can see that I need to delete that. And a lot of this you'll know just from recording. You're going to know where your mistakes were. So by doing that, now I'm going to move forward a little bit. And again, I'm going to delete to the left. All right, so this is a whole lot of fluff. So again, I'm going to move over, Command Shift left bracket. And I do a mixture of things when editing. Generally, I do that, Command B, and then with the trim edit tool selected, so T on the keyboard, I'll just drag in like that. Depends how I feel, you know, we mix it up. So I'm just going to go through here and trim this together. All right, so I've gone through and cut through this footage. Sometimes it's going to take a little bit longer, depends. I recently just filmed this not that long ago, like 15 minutes ago. So I'm aware of where my mistakes were, so it didn't take too long. And to be honest, this video, I kind of smashed it. Normally I make way more mistakes. So, you know, that was nice and easy for me to do there. So with this fully done and cut together, the next thing I do is play through the clip. I make sure that I haven't made any mistakes or any, you know, I need to soften things. Sometimes I'll go through and add transitions. I'll do that by selecting the joint there and just add like a 2-frame cross dissolve. And that just allows the clips to if it's not such a large jump, it'll blend the frames a little bit better. I won't do it for everything, but for majority things, I will do that little cross dissolve there. And the last thing I'm going to do is play through and hit the M key. The M key is going to add markers, and that what I use those for is my B-roll. So once I've cut the main clip together, I will go through, add markers where I think I need the B-roll, especially if I've filmed specific parts, and I'll go through and add it like so. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, so I've gone through, and again, because I've just filmed this, it was a lot easier for me. I knew exactly where I wanted the B-roll. Sometimes this does take longer if, you know, I haven't touched the video for a while and it's been a while since I filmed it. But as you can see here, I've gone through the markers, and as it plays over, it will show it in the top left corner, and it will tell me the description I gave it, which you can get by double clicking on the marker. You can kind of change the notes. I just do this because sometimes you're going to create the video and you're not going to edit on the same day. So this is just good because then I'll do this, and I'll make sure to do this in the first pass so that if I do decide to come back in a couple of days' time, it's very easy for me to, you know, start adding B-roll to this shot. So now we're going to start looking at the B-roll, and the thing here with the B-roll is that it was all filmed in 120 frames a second. So we need to conform that to the current timeline, and all we do is we select all those clips, right click, and we just go clip attributes, change the video frame rate to 24, and just go OK. So now when I play these, it's going to play back in slow motion. And all it is a matter of going through to these shots now and checking the marker, seeing what I need, and skimming through these shots. So I need a shot of this. So I'm just going to hit use I to set an in point, O to set out point, and I'm going to highlight this, click on that, and just drag the video down. Now it is overlapping. That's fine for now because we are going to speed ramp the hell out of this. What we might actually do is let's just cut that bit off there. So we're just going to drag that down there, and that's fine. So it automatically snaps to the marker as well, which is super helpful. We're going to go through and just add a couple more. So a carrying shot. So we're going to same clip, and we're just going to just get that little bit there. So I'm going to go through, and all I'm doing is hitting my in and out points, dragging just the video down onto the timeline, and I'm going to go through and do this for all the markers, and then we're going to come back and fiddle with it, stabilize them, speed ramp them, all that sort of stuff. All right, so now that I've added all of the footage onto the markers, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in on this timeline here. We're going to start editing this clip here. It's the longest one, and I do want to do some speed ramping. So before we do that, I'm just going to quickly disable that layer. I'm just using the D key on the keyboard to do that. That way, when we, you know, play over it, it's not going to affect anything. I'm also going to turn off snapping because that's going to get a bit annoying. So the first thing I want to do before I speed ramp this is I'm going to stabilize it. And a great feature inside of DaVinci Resolve 16 is that this is now in the inspector. So with this clip selected, all I'm going to do is go over to the inspector, to stabilization, and we're just going to stabilize it with the default settings that are in there now, and hit stabilize, and it'll do its thing. All right, so that's gone through and stabilize that, and you can see it's going to have done a really good shot. And it will have done a really good job because it's a relatively static shot anyway. There isn't that much jelloing, if any, and that's really good. If there was a little bit of jello effect, then we can go through and adjust these settings, and what we're going to have to do is every time we adjust these settings, we're going to have to hit stabilize again. We can also change the way it stabilizes a shot depending on what we're after. Perspective tends to work a lot better for shots that are handheld. And again, keep in mind, if you are going to stabilize a shot, make sure you've cut it to the length you're only going to use, because any unnecessary footage is just going to completely ruin the shot and ruin the stabilization. So again, just what you need. So now that we've got this stabilized, what we're going to want is I'm going to want this to start playing in slow motion. Then I reckon it's going to speed up a bit to there. Put that clip on in slow motion, and then speed up again, and then slow motion over the shoulder. So to do that, we're going to hit Command R or Control R. If you're on a Windows, that's going to bring up our speed controls, and it's pretty simple. We're just going to scrub through. So we're going to go, all right, I want that in slow motion, and then about here, what we're going to do is add a speed point. Then we're going to move forward. So this is going to be super quick, super quick, super quick, super quick, and then here, Add another speed point because this bit will be slow motion, like so. Add another speed point because now super quick, super quick, super quick, and then slow motion there at the end. So what have we actually done there? So we've added a bunch of points and basically segmented up our footage into how we want it to play. So this first part here, as I said, is going to be the current speed it's at 100%, which is 120 frames a second, played back at 24 frames a second. So it's going to play back as we see it there. Then it's going to get to this point. And when it gets to this point, we want it to be super, super quick. So to do that, we're going to hit this down arrow. There seems to be a little bit of a bug in this bit. So here we go. Down arrow and just change speed. We're just going to go 800 at the moment. We're going to change it. Hit that down arrow, change speed, and we're going to go 800%. We will make it a bit faster, but 800% just for the point of what we're doing right now. Boom. Now that's super quick. So if we play this, slow, 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 fast, 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 fast. But it's not that fast, right? It's kind of weird fast. Anyway, so now this is going to play in slow motion, clipping it on. And then we're going to get to this bit. This is where we want it to be fast again. So we're going to go 800%. And then this bit at the end here in slow motion. But we need to ramp it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and going to retime curve. Then with the retime curve selected, what we're going to do is we need to go over here, change it from frame to speed. And now we have a really good idea of what we're actually working with. So normal speed, really quick. Normal speed, really quick, normal speed. Thing is that obviously these are quite linear, you know, these are quite harsh transitions, so we're going to want to smooth them out, but we also want to make them faster, and to do so we need to increase the scale on the speed ramp itself. So we're going to want to select this percentage here, just click and drag to the right, and we're just going to go to about 3000% times the original speed. Find that that's a generally good working spot, and then all we're going to do is pull them up nice and high till they're about the same speed, 3000%. And that's going to make these super, super quick, so that when we play through, it plays through nice and fast. In fact, they could probably get away with being a little bit faster. And we can just keep dragging this. We can go as fast as we want. We can go 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 9,000, as fast as you want, whatever you need. So we're just going to drag that up a little bit more, see how that goes. It doesn't matter how fast it is really. It's just to see if it, you know, to create the effect we're looking for. So that's not too bad. Might make it a bit faster. Okay, I don't mind that. Yeah. Make it a bit faster. All right, so with that done, we've done the speeds. All we need to do is smooth out the animation. Simple, click that, hit that button there, and that just changed it to a nice smooth curve. We're gonna do that with all of them. Like so, and you can play with the handles depending on, you know, if you want it to be a really like slow, gradual but as it is right now, that's probably, generally I like the ramp to quick to be like that, and then to slow motion, we slow it down again. So yeah, let's do it like that. Cool, looks good to me. So all we need to do now is right click, turn off retime curve, Command or Control R, turn that off, and we have our edited clip all done. So if we played it through, so what I find actually now is that this is actually a bit too long. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut this clip, and I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to move it back, and again we're just probably going to cut that there, make that clip look a bit better. And so we probably don't need to speed ramp any of the other clips, but we just take a look. So we're going to need to stabilize this one. So again, with the clip selected, just going to hit stabilize. It's going to do its thing. The smaller the clip, the faster it works. And because these are slow motion clips, they're going to stabilize quite nicely. Cool. All right. So now we're going to go to the next one. This one we're also going to speed ramp. So again, select, we're gonna stabilize. I tend to stabilize the majority of the B-roll shots just to make them a little bit smoother. You might notice it, you might not, but better that it's there than if it's not there, just to, you know, it's gonna help just a little bit. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to, again, speed change, and we're gonna slow, add speed point, and then at the end here, add another speed point. We're just gonna zoom in on this clip, retime curve. See, when you know what you're doing, it becomes super, super quick. So now we have our clip, slow motion, and then nice, beautiful, looks good to me. And a couple other clips here, just gonna quickly go through and stabilize this one here, quickly stabilize it. And with that done, so we've gone through and we've edited, I'm gonna bring that back down now. The only reason I had it on the track above is because this one was a bit long, so we can bring it back down, keep things in order. The last thing we need to do for this video is just add the end screen. Simple, I just click and drag it, and we're gonna chuck it on the same track, leave it there, and we're just gonna snap it to the end. And I'm also just going to extend it to 10 seconds long, because that's how long I like to have my end screen on. I'm just gonna, with the T tool, all I'm doing is looking for that gray number, and it's 9 seconds long, 10 seconds long. Click there, gonna right click, add a 6-frame cross dissolve so it fades in, and done. We've got the end screen there, nice, easy. Got our B-roll. What we're gonna do now is add our song. So we're gonna click and drag that onto the audio track. Whoop. It's going to be super, super loud, which is the wrong thing. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to drop the clip volume to -28. I find that that tends to be... Today we're talking about something a little bit different, talking about the sweet spot in terms of, you know, with audio. And what we need to do now is cut it. So we're going to click and drag this down like so. And we're going to cut this up so that it, you know, extends the length of the video. And we're going to do this in a little bit of a cheaty way, but I've not had someone comment on my video yet, so it's obviously working. So we're going to zoom in as far as we can, and on the downbeat, we're going to cut the audio like so, and we're going to go through and find another section. So basically what we're doing is segmenting it up. So that bit there is going to play at the very end, so we can just click and drag that. That's going to play at the very end of the video. Snap that to the end like so. Very easy. Then we just want to segment this up into a section around there. So we're going to zoom in. And again, just going to find the downbeat. Like, I'm just going to use that one there. Like so. And now what we can do is just extend this. So what I'll do is I'm going to option drag, and I'm just going to match it on the other side, option drag, match it on the other side, and I'm just going to keep doing that until it extends the length of the track. And when it doesn't, I'm just going to do that. It's a little, and when it doesn't, I'm just going to drag and match it as best I can. It's messy, I guarantee. What we're going to do is right click, we're going to add a 6-frame crossfade, which is like 1/4 of a second, so no one's going to notice it. So even if I play this at full volume, what we're going to do is going to mute this track and turn the volume up. See, it, like, if you're listening for it, you can kind of hear the change, but it's actually pretty good. And the best part about this is it's not going to be playing at that volume, so you're not going to notice it anyway. So the best part to do there is we can just track level and just bring the track level to like -28. That's generally a good point for it, I find, where you can't hear it over the audio. So now we've done the audio, we've got a couple more things we need to do until we can deliver this video. So now another great tool in Davinci Resolve 16 is adjustments layers. So we're going to go to Effects Library, Effects, Adjustment Clip, and we're going to drag that onto video clip number 2, select it and zoom in quickly. Whoop. We're going to drag it over the entire video. So that's going to cover all the footage. There's a reason why we're doing that. We're going to add a vignette. So now we have done everything. All we need to do is quickly color code these clips. All we need to do is quickly color correct these clips up the top here, which we haven't touched yet. Quickly add a vignette to this, add a little bit more style, and then we can send it off to YouTube to upload. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop over to the color page, and what we're going to look for is the adjustment clip here. It's going to be at the start generally, and depending on where it is in the timeline, but here it's in the start. So with it selected, we're going to go to Open Effects, we're going to search, and we're going to type in vignette, click and drag onto the node. It's going to apply a very strong vignette, but in the settings here, what we're going to do is we're just going to adjust the settings. So I'm going to, increase that, make it quite soft. We're also going to blend it a bit. So if I turn this on, Command D, it's quite subtle, adds a little bit of an extra dimension to the shot. And as you can see here, it's applied it through the entire clip because it's an adjustment layer. It's affecting everything below it, and because it's a color edit, it's affecting everything below it. So now that's all sorted. We're just going to quickly color correct these clips, and to do so, we're just going to do it as we did last time. You can tell we haven't color corrected them because they don't have that little color square over the number. So we're just going to go through, raise some colors in them. Don't have to do too much. Add a node. And because all these shots were filmed in the same spot, I am literally just going to copy and paste because I know that they're going to be more or less the same. So I'm going to add another node. We're going to add a LUT, same one we used for the front, keep it nice and on par. Again, Kia, lower the gain, 0.5, turn it on and off. Looks pretty good. So now that we've edited that one, all I'm going to do is going to Command select that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, all the clips that we haven't color corrected yet. Right click the one that we did and just go apply grade. And all that's going to do is apply the grade to all the other shots that we had selected. Nice and simple. So now we have our color grade. Very, very easy. And that's pretty much it. The video is now ready to deliver. To do so, we just head over to the deliver page. We've got our timeline, very simple. For YouTube, I literally just click YouTube, name the video. So we're going to call this Lodnat Bag Review, set a destination, desktop for now, save, and scroll down, upload directly to YouTube. I do that there, change the visibility to private so I can edit it later. We also got categories, so we can change the category of what it is, add to render queue, and we can start that render. Now, if you want to deliver this to someone, and you don't want it for YouTube, you can do a ProRes master or a H.264 master. ProRes tends to be a bit better quality in my opinion. And that's pretty much it. So there you go, guys. That's how you edit a video inside Davinci Resolve 16. Hopefully you figured some tips out. Remember, we're doing a giveaway. 2 full studio licenses of Davinci Resolve are up for grabs. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and like the video to be in the running. Going to be announced in 2 weeks' time. So keep an eye out for that. Until the next video, guys. See ya.